Hello everybody, welcome to Virtual Club Live today, this January 19th, 2021. I'm Josh Peterson and we're broadcasting live right now from the Boys and Girls Clubs of Benton and Franklin counties in Kennewick, Washington. Wherever you're watching from, thanks for joining us today. We've got a great show coming up today on Virtual Club Live. Calling all musicians out there, Nathan is back with another music education video tutorial. This one all about drum rolls, single stroke rolls, double stroke rolls. If you're ready to make those hands move fast, Nathan is going to show you how. Plus, we've got an update for you on our current virtual club challenge, Prism Photography. Cade breaking down how to add some cool optical effects to help your photos stand out. We're going to announce the winner of the challenge soon. Plus, we're going to take you to a great community event where multiple organizations, including the Boys and Girls Club, came together in our community to help those in need. But first, we want to take a moment to reflect on Martin Luther King Jr. Day yesterday. Serving others is a critical part of the mission of the Boys and Girls Club, and we absolutely love this quote right here from Martin Luther King Jr. Everybody can be great because anybody can serve. Opening a door for someone, picking up trash at your local park, or delivering a meal to a friend, serving others is something we can all do to make the world a better place. Well, teens and staff at our Kennewick Club got together yesterday afternoon to learn about the life of Martin Luther King Jr. and how we can honor his legacy. We stopped by to capture the educational moment and speak with teens. Check it out.
I did not know that he studied sociology. That was interesting to me. I mean, it makes sense, but looking back at it, but it was pretty interesting still.
I think it's important because it gets a lot of people to step out of their comfort zone and speak out for what they think is right. He inspired a lot of kids to just do better for themselves and do better for everybody around them.
To help uphold Martin Luther King's message, I want to spread the word to many people to say that what he fought for was our well-being today. Without him, we wouldn't be the same.
I plan on upholding King's message by just spreading positivity and just treating everyone how I want to be treated, just equal and a part of the group.
All right, it's absolutely inspiring to see youth in our community learning about Dr. King so they can become the next generation of great leaders. All right, right now we've got an update for you on our virtual club challenge, Prism Photography. Cade got to break down this amazing and creative project for you. You take a prism or you take something that is going to give that optical illusion effect to take a photo with. We received many amazing submissions over the last couple weeks. Thank you everybody for sending in your very creative photos as you use different objects to capture really, really unique moments. All the creativity, and we love kind of some of the behind the scenes shots as well. So a big shout out to everybody who sent in these amazing Prism Photography inspired photos. Congratulations to you all. But like there is every week, there can only be one Virtual Club Challenge winner, and we want to give a big shout out to Kylie Wellman. Congratulations, you are this week's Virtual Club Challenge winner. Love the creativity and the color of this amazing photo that you took. Congratulations, you've won that $25 gift card to Dutch Brothers. Well, if you're looking to be creative in a different way, we've got a new and unique video tutorial that's just for you. Tanis is back and is going to show you how to paint miniatures. Check it out.
Hey everybody, this is Tanis, and today I'm going to show you one of my favorite things in the world, miniature painting. So I love miniature painting for a whole bunch of reasons, but the biggest one is I'm really bad at drawing, I'm really bad at sculpting and all that other stuff like that, but I really want to be artistic. And this is one of the ways that I can be artistic and feel like I'm doing okay. So maybe you might feel the same way, or maybe you just want to join me in another fun activity. Regardless, this is some of the stuff that you might need to use while you're doing your own miniature painting. The first thing you're going to need is a miniature. Now I've picked this one. You can pick any one that you like from whatever genre you like. If you don't like fantasy, you can pick anything. I can tell you for sure there is a miniature for you. Next up, you're going to need some paints. Now these paints are special because they're acrylic water-based paints. Now that you have your paint and you have your miniature, you're also going to need something to paint with. So the brushes that you're going to use are going to be acrylic brushes. Finally, you're going to want a palette. Basically anything can be a nice palette for you. To round all this out is my paint water. So I generally use 2 cups. You don't have to use 2 cups, it's just what works best for me. So you could try something out and do what's best for you. I use 2 cups because this one is one that I will use for cleaning my brush. So all I'm going to do is stick my brush in there, wiggle it around a whole bunch, tap off the excess, and maybe dry it a little bit on my paper towel. The other one I will use to thin my paints, and I'll explain about that later. All right, so let's put some paint on our palette. Chances are your paint is going to need to be shaken up a little bit, so give it a good shake for a couple of minutes. Now I have shaken these up beforehand, so I won't need to do it. And you're going to take a little dollop. If you have a dropper bottle like I do, it's real easy, you just tip it over. You want maybe a dime-sized, maybe even a little bit smaller bit of paint. If you have a paint pot, then you're just going to take your paintbrush, dip it in there. Don't get too far down. Don't get up to the metal, just get up to the bristles. Pull it out, put it on your palette. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to get a little bit of water in your brush, just like I have, and you're going to just mix that in. Now, you don't want your paintbrush to be just overrun with water. You want to have it be wet, but not overrun. Get enough water in there so it kind of seems a little bit thinner, hence the name thinning your paint. Rinse out your paintbrush just a little bit, just in case you had too much. Tap it off, wipe it off if you want to, and now let's begin putting some paint on. So you can see that I am putting paint on my brush, but I'm only putting it up to about halfway up the bristles. You really don't want to get it up to the metal because that can mess up your brushes, and especially if you have really nice brushes, you don't want that. I'm going to hold my paintbrush just like a pencil, get my miniature as close as I can up to me, and just start putting it down. Now you might notice that I'm not being super exact. I just got a whole bunch of blue on his beard. And that might seem like a problem, but that's actually something that we're going to be able to fix really easy. All right, so when you're done with your very first coat of paint, you're going to want to let it dry a little bit. And I do say first coat because if you're looking closely at your miniature, you'll see that there's some spots where maybe the black undercoat was shining through, or perhaps you just missed a spot. Whatever the reasoning is, it's just not perfect. So we're gonna go back through once it's dried off a little bit, and we're gonna put a second coat on there. It's gonna go over the whole thing, even if you think it looks good, just to make sure everything looks uniform and the same. Since it's acrylic-based paint, it's going to dry pretty quickly, so you actually will probably already have parts of it dry by the time you get done with putting down your first bits. I started on this sleeve and it is 100% dry. I could start going back to it right now. All right, so now we're going to do our second coat. All right, so I'm done with my second coat of paint on this blue part. Next, we're gonna try to move on to the other big areas that it won't be too big of a deal if we end up over painting and getting into the smaller areas. So I'm going to next paint up his wood staff. And then I'm gonna paint up his beard, and I'm gonna finish off with his hand, and face. So let's get started with our brown. And again, I'm being pretty vicious about putting it down here. The only thing I'm trying to do is make sure I don't mess up my blue coat too badly. Don't worry too much if you do end up painting over something you've already painted, because it's very easy to go back and fix it, especially if you still have your paint on your palette. It's totally okay to rotate your Mini all around to make sure you can get to the hard to reach nooks and crannies. It's better to rotate your miniature and get a better angle on where you're going to than to leave something unpainted or accidentally paint something you don't want to. So I finished painting up the brown of the staff and the brown on his boot that I actually noticed. And I put on its second coat as well. Now, the reason why you want to have multiple coats rather than one really thick coat is because the details in the thing that we are painting are often so small, it would be real easy to cover it up with just a thick glob of paint. So instead, what we like to do is we like to take a thin amount of paint, just a small amount, put it down, just enough to maybe cover it up a little bit, and then if we need more, we add more. Let's move on to the beard. Now we have the beard done. We just have one final step of big paint to put down, and that's on the hands and the face. All right, we're gonna add on the second thin coat onto his skin, just as we've been doing for all the other parts. Okay, so I'm noticing that the face of my wizard is not quite perfect, so I'm actually gonna add on a third layer anyways. So one of the final steps you're gonna have to do on a miniature like this is put in the eyes. Now it's the part that always worries me the most because I don't have the most steady hands. But we have to make sure we paint bravely, get in there, and get it done. The key to it is to have a nice small detail brush, just like this. Have a good grip on your miniature and put your wrists together as well as you can to kind of steady them together. Once you're there, all you have to do is just do one little slice across with the white and one little slice across on the other eye, and then we'll put little dots on it. So let's do it. And now we are to the hardest part, in my opinion, the pupils. Now, you don't have to be worried if you mess it up. There's always more paint you can put on. It's never too late to fix something. All we're gonna do is get some black on our brush. We're gonna come in and we're basically just going to tap. We're just gonna tap. And if you notice that you didn't get enough on there, then you can go again, but you really wanna be careful because it's super easy to end up putting too much there and just cover up all the white. Let's do it. So my right eye turned out pretty okay, but the left eye ended up being a little bit wonky. So just like I said, you can always just cover it back up. So I'm gonna cover up just the little black part with some white, let it dry, and I'm gonna try putting that black dot in again. One of the last steps that we're gonna have to do is clean up the little bits where we might have gotten paint in the wrong spots. So like right here on my staff, I put a little bit of gray when I should have put brown. And then of course in the back when I was putting on the hair, I kind of got a little bit crazy and got it on the blue. So we'll fix those up. We have the paint to fix it. Let's do it. And now the last step is to clean up the base of it. So we got a little bit of paint, just kind of when we were painting his robe on the base. So we're gonna take some more of this black and we're just gonna cover all that up. And there we have it, our first miniature done. There's a few more steps that you could take, more advanced things that you could be doing, or different paths that you could be taking while painting something like this. Feel free to explore those on yourself. Just be brave about what you're doing. It's kind of scary when you're going in and you're trying to do something new and you're pretty sure it's gonna look bad. It will always look bad until you actually try it and practice it. So do it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Miniature painting is one of my favorite hobbies, and maybe it can be one of yours. Happy painting. See you next time.
All right, thanks Tanis. Painting miniatures is so unique because you can paint any kind of character you like, whatever you're into. Really, really cool. And we want to see your best miniature paintings. That is the new Virtual Club Challenge. Paint a miniature, a mini model, whatever it is that you like, whatever colors, whatever paints you like. When you're done with the painting, send us a picture. We'd love to see it, virtual@greatclubs.org. The submission deadline is actually not Monday, January 25th. It's the next week. It's February 1st, and we're going to announce the winner on Tuesday, February 2nd on Virtual Club Live in 2 weeks at 4 p.m. So send in those submissions. We cannot wait to check them out. The winner of this Virtual Club Challenge is going to get a $25 gift card to Michael's. So send in those submissions. We cannot wait to see them. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to take you to an amazing community event where multiple organizations came together to help those in need. We'll be right back.
Today's world is really driven by technology. You see it everywhere. Without having the knowledge to use it, you are really missing out on a lot of opportunities.
The best thing about technology is creating exposure for young people to understand what's possible in both their world and in education. That's the great thing about my future.
All right, welcome back. Well, if you're not familiar with BGCA's My Future program, now is a great time to check it out. In recognition of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, youth can complete 15 activities per club site in the My Future Leadership program to qualify for a raffle to win a set of 5 iPad minis and a $25 Visa gift card for staff. Now, to enter, members must finish the activities and club staff must approve them between now and Friday, January 29th in My Future. You can see the activities and all the contest terms and conditions at myfuture.net/contests/26. All right, well, right now it's time for one of my favorite segments, Clubs Across the Country. We are getting on the plane and heading first to Mississippi. Going to the Boys and Girls Club of the Gulf Coast. They held a Martin Luther King Jr. basketball tournament. The club selected an all-tournament team led by local staff there and had lots of fun doing that. Next, we're going to head over to Pennsylvania to North Penn Valley. Boys and Girls Club staff members there gave out free school supply kits and MLK Day activity kits to families yesterday. What a really Neat project there. All right, well, next we're going to head back home to Washington to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Skagit County. Club members working on their team building skills in a lava pit game in the gym here. They cheered each other on and provided help remembering the correct path through the lava maze, and everyone got a chance to be a leader. Lots of fun there. Also in Washington, we're going to stop at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Southwest Washington. A group of youth there took advantage of a break in the rain to go out for a relaxing neighborhood walk. Awesome. All right, well, in our local community, let's check in with some of our preschool kiddos who are currently learning about buildings. They got a chance to build their own structures out of various materials, blocks, cardboard, cups, and popsicle sticks. It's all good. At their sites, they're learning about how buildings are made, what tools are needed, and what is special about their club building, which of course is everything. Love this guy's little outfit here. All right, over in Prosser, staff there wanting to do a checkup with their club kids this Thursday. The club wants this to be a monthly routine and hope you'll join them for their first call. They've got some great prizes and games on the agenda. For more information, you can speak with a Prosser Club staff member about this process. All right, well, yesterday for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, several community organizations came together to provide help for those who need it most. Tri-Cities Diversity and Inclusion Council, Communities in Schools, American Red Cross, the Children's Reading Foundation, Papo Community Credit Union, the Pasco Police Department, and more met at the Kennewick Boys and Girls Club a couple days ago to put together and organize food boxes and supplies for families in our community who need assistance. Yesterday, these organizations worked together to hand out supplies at the Martin Luther King Jr. Center in Pasco. Also, some of our staff members, John and Andrea, they were also there helping out to hand out masks. Amazing work in the community coming together. Well, in the spirit of working together and supporting one another, we encourage you to support a club alumnus who needs some help right now. Omar Gatan, a club alumnus from our Pasco main branch, is currently battling leukemia. Omar and his family have been a part of our club family for more than 12 years. He and his siblings grew up in clubs, volunteered at clubs, and have represented clubs in our Youth of the Year program. We ask you to please consider supporting this incredible young man during this difficult time. You can support Omar at the website at that GoFundMe page that's at the bottom of the screen. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we hope you'll be ready to drum. Nathan is going to break down some essential roles, drum rolls that all drummers should know. Stay with us.
The future is uncertain for millions of young Americans facing a competitive job market. Additionally, businesses are reimagining how they work and serve their customers. How can young people prepare to meet the workforce challenges of tomorrow? They need safe spaces and positive mentorship today. That's where Boys and Girls Clubs of America come in, to level the playing field and help our youth stay on the right path in the midst of change. Mentors and activities help develop essential skills like communication, creativity, and critical thinking. Club experiences spark interest in careers related to STEM, business, the arts, and more. Together with our partners, clubs empower teens to explore volunteerism, extracurriculars, and certifications in their communities. They can even access financial literacy programs, internships, and local jobs. Boys and Girls Clubs of America is developing today's youth into tomorrow's leaders, innovators, and problem solvers, ready to not only meet challenges, but exceed all expectations. Learn more about our workforce readiness programs at bgca.org/workforce.
All right, welcome back. The Boys and Girls Club is hosting a great virtual event next month to celebrate some of our amazing teens. This is our 2021 Youth of the Year celebration, a virtual event on Facebook Live Thursday, February 4th at 6 p.m. We are going to recognize our 3 outstanding Youth of the Year candidates from our organization, and we will recognize one of them as our Youth of the Year who's going to represent our organization and go off to the state level. An amazing opportunity to get to know some of our incredible youth. Also, we got another great virtual event coming up this Thursday. We're having another virtual art class, a drawing class through Zoom. Learn how to make this pastel giraffe. That's happening Thursday, January 21st. 2 sessions, 4 and 6 p.m. You can register at tricitiesmac.org or email us virtual@greatclubs.org for more information on how you can sign up for this class. All right, well, young musicians, are you ready to improve your musical skills? If you've ever watched a drummer move their hands super fast, you may have wondered, how are they doing that? Well, Nathan is going to break down some essential roles so you know how it's done. Check it out.
Hey guys, it's Nathan. Today we'll be learning the different types of drum rolls and a few methods to get better at them. When most people think about drumming, drum rolls are the very first thing that comes to mind. Like, I've had people come up to me and just go, just because they know that I'm a drummer. Rolls are the very beginning in your journey into the fundamentals of drumming. These 3 rolls that we will be learning are going to introduce you into the world of drumming and start you on your journey to becoming a great drummer. First is the single stroke roll. Like its name says, it is a roll produced by alternately playing single notes on each hand over and over again. This being the simplest roll, it is easy to understand, but is truly hard to master. To play this effectively, you should separate the hands first and then put them together once you've got a hang of it. When you're practicing each hand, you should make sure that you're getting a nice bounce out of your wrist. Just playing notes over and over again repetitively and making sure that they're really smooth and relaxed. Once you've got both hands, you can try them together, just to make sure that they're both doing the same thing. Once you've got that figured out, you can then start alternating them and making sure that you're producing a smooth and even sound. A multiple bounce roll, also known as a buzz roll, is also very descriptive in its name. For each stroke, you allow the stick to hit multiple bounces at once, which allows a sound like a buzz to happen. The trick to a buzz roll is to nail down each hand playing a buzz before you try and put them together. A great way to practice buzzing is to realize how the rebound of the drum affects the stick. You can practice this by just allowing the stick to drop from your hand. Don't fully drop it, just hold it like this and allow it to drop and see how many times you can get the stick to hit the drum. That's called the rebound. A buzz is basically just you using the rebound and your fulcrum and pushing into the head to make that buzz sound. Once you can do this on each hand separately, it's just a matter of alternating them and putting it together to make a continuous blend of sound that sounds like a buzz. The last roll is a double stroke roll. For this roll, every time each hand hits the drum, you play 2 notes, which is called a diddle. The hard part about diddles is getting each note to sound the same. The tendency is for the first note to be louder than the second note, which leads to an uneven sounding roll. The way you can achieve quality diddles is by playing an exercise like double beat, which forces you to make each note sound the same. Once you have achieved quality diddles in each hand, you can put them together to produce an even sounding roll. In the description, I have provided a practice sheet to practice all 3 of these rolls. It will help you to visualize what it means to separate each hand and then put them together for the final product. If you need some help with learning how to read rhythms, then check out our other videos on rhythm basics. But that's going to be all for today, guys. I hope this video helped you clarify what each type of roll is and gave you a deep understanding of the techniques that we used and how we got to the end product. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.
All right, Nathan, thanks very much for that super educational video. As drummers, it's super important to know about these rolls, so study that, practice that, and get better. All right, well, if you're passionate about helping youth reach their full potential, does this sound like you? Join our team help make a difference in our community, we are hiring. You can see current openings at greatclubs.org/employment. We've got nearly 10 open positions right now, so we're looking for some amazing folks to help us out with our programs here. All right, we're going to end today's show with a great story from the Kennewick Police Department featuring a club alumnus. A couple mornings ago, Officer Zebby Castilleja was getting a coffee and learned that the car in front of him had paid for his coffee, so the officer was able to purchase the coffee for the car behind him. KPD says they're humbled by the community support they receive on a daily basis, and a special thank you to the citizen for this random act of kindness. We love kind of those lines. You know, you ever go get coffee and then the people in front of you pay and it just keeps going and going. It's absolutely amazing. We love it. Officer Castilleja is also a Boys and Girls Club board member and a club alumnus. So Zebby, enjoy that coffee. And thanks for all you do. All right, well, thanks for joining us today for Virtual Club Live. To see more content at any time, you can follow us on our social media pages, YouTube, Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram. Just search Virtual BGCBFC, that's Boys and Girls Clubs of Benton and Franklin counties. You can also check out our website for a full list of all of our videos. Just go to greatclubs.org/virtualclub. We've got more than 150 videos up there, all for you. Have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. We'll see you next week for Virtual Club Live. See ya.